Want to conquer crazy fights? Or learn to get good and finally get that ultra nightmare clear you wanted? Well, I recommend practice and enemy randomizer. From the recent QuakeCon, Doom Eternal is official mod support. Not only it is easy to use, it means you can replay the game with many fun things, such as weapon skins, crazy maps, and my favorite, enemy randomizer, which is what I've been doing recently on some of my streams. The mod setup is simple. Go to Steam, select the PC mod preview within the beta for Doom Eternal. Launch the game, browse for a mod, download it, then click the play mod section, drag and drop what you want, and hit the play mods on the top right. I used to be terrible at this game, and yes, I used to shit talk it a lot. But after 500 or so hours into this game, having lots of fun and doing lots of difficult things, I can finally say I have gotten good at shooters. And yes, my aim still sucks, and I recommend doing this if you want to improve as well. Oh man, feels good to be good. So to get good, I did two things. I looked up weapon swapping tips and ways to kill marauders easily, specifically from Sylar here. Go check him out, he's got lots of great stuff. And playing Prote's enemy randomizer. He's got 3 versions: balanced, balanced with everything unlocked, and my favorite, the bullshit unbalanced version. I will note, some enemies or buff totems may get stuck outside the map, so you will need to open up the console to kill AI to continue. This randomizer also includes the TAG2 enemies, which is seriously annoying. Whoever designed the red light green light enemies may need to tweak their designs a bit. At least I can chainsaw the stone imps, and sometimes that works in my benefit as they roll right into me. Curse prowlers aren't a huge deal. Armored barons are actually kind of fun. Stone imps can catch you, but otherwise the blood makers are the worst. I know they're not tag 2, but they're awful. What a great enemy. Oh my god, I can't aim. Stairs going up. The unbalanced version is where more of the heavier demons spawn, such as barons, armored barons, tyrants, marauders, etc. are more frequent, on top of other buff enemies such as the buff totems, screechers, archvilles, and possessed enemies. Some fights demand lots of quick weapon swapping with high throughputs of damage, some fights require lots of movement to put yourself in a better position, and lastly, some fights are simply a puzzle of what targets are more of a priority to take out. Thanks to the combat loop and this mod, there's always an imp that respawns. He brings 3 options: restore ammo from the chainsaw, easy glory kill for health or armor, and put pressure on the player so you can't camp in one spot, so you need to keep moving. And yes, I've gotten stuck on this respawning imp that made me take big damage. Skill issue, I guess. Which brings me to showcasing this run of TAG1 Unbalanced Randomizer on Ultra Nightmare. I'll explain the 3 maps, tough areas, and all the fun it has without, making this video too long or too boring. I'll leave the full run in another video because I don't want this one to be 2 hours long. Overall, TAG1 is a great entry point of getting good. Overall, the maps have great fighting areas that aren't too small or too tight. The first map, UAC Atlantica, is mostly heavy combat orientated, which is very similar to the vanilla version, believe it or not. Other than the very first area being crazy with the onslaught of enemies, which I have died once there before. Every other fight is a small section of the map, so it really puts endurance test on you. Myself, I got unlucky with a lot of these buff support enemy types, but hey, that's what makes the randomizer great and more fun to the challenge. After the second major fight arena, it's back to small sections and annoying enemy types. I did get a funny glitch with the spirit trying to possess an enemy in thin air. Otherwise, UAC is back to back to back with major fights in great arenas. One arena, where a Kako nearly sniped me, nearly ending the run. Another arena with 2 archvilles just being very annoying and teleporting all over the place, but at least they didn't cause a stir. Otherwise, there's one very small area similar to our complex where I use the BFG. Since there's no space and I don't want to risk a Bloodmaker taking up the entire area. So yeah, it's a good thing that I used the BFG because there was 2 more archvilles in that area. Last arena was me mostly having fun, as there wasn't anything too spectacular or crazy RNG that happened. Next is Blood Swamps. In Randomizer, it is hell and hard. Big encounters, awkward map layouts, tight areas, and the fog. If any place will end the run, it's probably here. It is very easily to get overwhelmed here, as you can tell with some of the clips of me getting destroyed. Just like UAC's first area, probably one of the harder sections to take on. After that, it is dealing with some annoying game mechanics. Once you take on the smaller stuff and get to the center, the key here is to position yourself very carefully, as you can accidentally spawn too much here. So I was hanging out on the right side, as I have died here before spawning both left and right sections. Next up is the wonderful fog section, one of them being this stupid dog. Are you serious, dog? Dog! What? Okay, whatever. Ah, you fucking piece of shit. What? How was the... Ah! Oh yeah, I also got soft-locked in the section one time, where apparently glory killing can put you out of bounds. Did I just... Oh my god. Speedrun strats? Maybe. Interesting. I did not think this was doable. Yeah, that's a little spooky, not gonna lie. Is this what first-person League of Legends look like? After that dog section, I nearly died to a cursed prowler, and that was my fault for not being extra careful. So after the jumping, where you encounter the vanilla spirit, I used a BFG here for safety, as it can get crazy hard at times, especially for how small and awkward the area is. One fun arena fight, then on to the left section. An imp nearly killed me because a marauder did high damage to me in a small area. The stuff after that is me taking my time with more of the annoying fog. There is an area with the buff totem and marauder. Sure, you can cheese shield him out, but it's best to play it safe when he's running rampant when you have respawning imps behind you. Another section did spawn 2 marauders, though no need to take risks here, just slowly work them down. It's a matter of using the super shotgun and the ballista, or trying a combo if there's a position or an opening that is safe. My lesson learned here was not to screw around with buff marauders. Sure, I could do some cool tech, but at the end of the day, not dying is more important in case there's a mistake of inputs. Otherwise, I prefer playing in UAC more than Blood Swamps. Otherwise, the rest of the map is just fun fights overall. Some awkward areas again, but nothing too spectacular in terms of RNG or crazy stuff. Lastly is Holt, the other Urdak map. I don't know. I don't know lore. Just like the first two, the first major fight arena is probably the toughest here. The rest of the fights are fun and, again, no crazy gimmicks. After the first major fight, taking every corner slow is the key. Not rushing here is the best, seeing how this map is the last needed to get done, so I shouldn't be taking any risks. Most of the fights felt pretty close to vanilla, even the area where you fight twice with the electric pillars. So it is safe to say the map is overall great in terms of balance. However, there's one spot where I think is the hardest. This is where there's fireballs coming from the jet and a flank of enemies coming to get you. I have died to this spot from a buff marauder before, but it doesn't change the fact that other enemy types are just as dangerous. Another major fight arena, which is more fun than the first one. Just remember to take out the buff totem. After clearing that, comes down to the big bridge, where there's a good chance it might be easier than vanilla, since a possessed tyrant does take a while, but we fought one earlier in this run, so fair is fair. Lastly, before the boss is your pick of one of the fun rooms. Here I nearly got caught into a bad position, but thankfully I had enough health and armor anyways, in case if it was a problem. Oh my god, I thought I died there for a sec. My heart just actually kind of stopped. I was like, I'm stuck, and it doesn't feel right. Lastly is the boss some myrrh. In the randomizer, it skips cutscenes, as watching them over and over while playing this game is awful, which makes the boss spirits a little easier to kill. But the side-scrolling Kako section can get rough if you get pain elementals instead, so yeah, I used a BFG here too. After all that, TAG1 is done. Once again, this challenge is fun thanks to the randomizer. Not sure if I want to attempt the whole thing on campaign, with the randomizer on, as it would take a lot of time and attempts to get through the maps, as some of them are not really designed well, such as Arc Complex, and mixing them with Blood Makers, it's gonna be hell. Regardless, I recommend anyone who wants to get back into Doom Eternal give this randomizer a try. If you enjoyed this, feel free to check out my other 2 challenge runs of Unreclaimed Earth Ultra Nightmare, as well as TAG1 Unbalanced Randomizer. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.